Alright, so for our first video today, we are over on Guild Quest to try out this particular team that I have been using for the Captain Week, because as of right now, the Captain Guild Quest still doesn't really have a strong lead. Right now, pretty much some of the few good options are 6th Anniversary Aizen, this Yamamoto, and also Yuha. And I've also noticed that I've actually been showcasing Yamamoto quite a bit in Guild Quest, but that's what Yamamoto is. He's honestly the Guild Quest god. I use him in so many teams, and we're using him right now in the Captain Week, even when he doesn't have Killer. And the general idea of the team is that once more we're using Yamamoto's massive, powerful nuclear assault bomb in combination with 2 Nat characters to try and get through the 4th and 5th wave relatively quick. So to make that possible, we've given Yamamoto the max amount of SP I could give him with as much damage as possible on his soul bomb. So a tension tie, a fortification field, and also an artisanal tea set. With 3 full stamina links, that's going to allow Soul to hit ridiculously hard, especially because we do have the character max transcended. Alongside that, with full stamina damage and also double weakened defense, that's going to allow our sides to hit 60% more once we do use our soul bomb. Now, a great character for this particular week is, of course, 1000 Year Blood War Yuha. He's a really good Brave Battle character, is also really good in Guild Quest content. In this case, he is immune to paralysis, so he doesn't have to bother about the stats and what's on the floor. He is a Nad character with Flurry +2, so he can hit actually quite hard. So we give him a Gold Chappie, a Chappie, and also a Masanga with as much Nad as possible. Which, to be fair, I didn't realize I was using a red 2 link, so let's quickly change that. But in Yuha's case, he is actually only special move level 1 out of 5, but he's very important for the team because he is providing us with that additional set of stats. Since he does have a boost SA2 with the booster skill, this basically makes him one of the best sides for this particular guild quest. He's going to provide our entire team and himself an additional 43% extra attack, focus, and also defense, but the most important part is the focus and attack increase. And again, just to make sure you can do as much damage to full stamina damage and also damage to burning enemies is applied onto this particular Yuha. Now, a good substitute for this particular Yuha would be the 1000 Year Blood War version of Chad. Chad also really good. He does have attribute advantage against the final boss, so he's also going to be pretty good here. And again, they both offer the same thing. Chad also has a boost SA2 with the booster skill. And our third and surprise character is someone that does perform exceptionally well in this particular guild quest, mainly because we don't have that many other good options for the Captain Week. We still need some new set of characters for this one, which, to be fair, we do have Aaroniero, so Aaroniero would actually be really good here. I don't have him though, but we have Dodoni. In this case, very similar build, as much attack as possible with as much Nad as possible. In Dodoni's case, he is basically max transcended in terms of the damage output, and Dodoni for the most part was made for guild quest, so he is immune to paralysis, does have quite a high Nad output, and does have an increased killer effect in guild quest, which goes up to 30%. So with that idea in mind, that's the team. Let's jump into the run. So for our very first run, we did do this on stream just after receiving 80 orbs from the weekly reset, by the way. In this case, I wasn't really going to go for a massive clear time. I've noticed quite a few times, because of the way Sergeant does work, he is the second boss in this particular quest, is that if I use my SA1, before I even get a chance to use my SA2, Sergeant would then use his attack the second he spawns in, and then it will hit my Yamamoto, losing the full stamina, and then basically ending the run. And since I was on the live stream, I didn't want to reset the app. I just wanted to quickly demonstrate the team's potential, even though I'm kind of doing it terribly here. But we just kept it going, and we were able to get a somewhat decent clear time. For many people, that's actually not too bad. I believe we got around 20 or so second clear time, but for a team like this, it can definitely get a tad bit faster. And for the most part, this team is actually relatively safe. Every character here does have a vortex, and you can time Yamamoto's vortex SA2 to play a tad bit safe. Yuha and Dodoni is going to use their SA2 basically right from the get-go, and the moment you notice their vortex ends, that's when you can use Yamamoto's vortex SA2 to give yourself that extra bit of protection. But in that case, terrible first run. Let's jump into the second one. So for our second run, we made sure not to get hit by the Sergeant second boss. In this case, it's very simple. All we have to do is use our strong attacks when they're appropriate. We're going to use our SA1 straight away and then time the SA2 so we can potentially go into the next wave and group all the enemies together. Same goes with the SA3. We're going to time it when the next waves are spawned in. So our 2 side characters, the ones that are doing the most damage in this particular run, only focus on the boss. And when we feel like it's the right time to use our soul bomb, hopefully in combination with Yuha and Dodoni's Nad string, we're going to be able to use our soul bomb and get through right to the 5th wave. In this particular run though, I noticed that when we did summon to the 5th wave, it took like a second, maybe half a second for both Dodoni and also Yuha to realize where the final boss was to then start attacking them. And so because of that, we were able to get, I believe, an 11-second run. The main goal for this particular team is to get a sub 10 seconds. So while it was a good run, I took the score. I was happy with it. We are trying to improve on that with our third ticket. And going into our first ticket, again, very similar strategy. The second run was almost perfect. It literally just came down to the two side characters not doing damage to the final boss, and that maybe came down to where the boss actually spawned in. Preferably, we want the final boss to spawn in where our two side characters are attacking. So in this case, we're able to use our strong attacks perfectly. We use our sub bomb, we nuke straight into the final room where Dodoni and Yuha only has to use maybe like 1 or 2 attacks, and the boss goes down relatively quick, and we're able to get a 9-second clear time. That's actually quite impressive. Definitely a good team for this particular guild quest. Didn't even take that many resets, and the team can get significantly better. Again, Chad is also really good here in this particular guild quest. I unfortunately don't have him, and Yuha, if we was more duped out, we could have got even significantly faster. Maybe could have got a potential sub 5 if Yuha was 5-5. It's always nice to use a character like Yuha, a team booster that actually gets to do damage in this particular run, so that's why I do enjoy using a team like this. And at the same time, taking it back around 9 months ago, there was a bit of disappointment when Yuha was another Brave Battle character, so it's nice to get a usage out of him outside of Brave Battles in this particular guild quest, and I use him all the time. And that's basically why I didn't mind him being another Brave Battle character, because he's really good in Brave Battle, still the best Brave Battle character in the game, and also really good for any guild quest, but especially the melee captain week. And with that said, that was basically my team for the particular guild quest. In the comments below, let me know what team you lads are using. Hope you lads enjoyed the video, and I'll see you lads next time. Take care and peace.